Welcome, fellow Gear Pothead, Joe Pop Putty Man here, and today we will be reviewing episode 4 of the Falcon with Soldier called The Whole World is Watching, which is figuratively the best title for this episode. Before we get into this, make sure to hit the like button and make sure to hit the subscribe button. I do want to go ahead and state this is going to be a different review than my last 3 reviews because the last 3 episodes didn't really do any good as far as like my WandaVision reviews and Mandalorian, and I think it's based on time frame, things of that nature. So today it's going to be a rough cut. We're not going to have any kind of pictures below, and I'm not going to address anything that happened in my last episodes. So at the end of this episode, there will be links to the playlist and my last episode of this if you want to see how I usually do this. But I wanted to get this out as quickly as I can, and I'm hoping maybe if I get enough of you guys that are that would hit that subscribe button, which, by the way, if you do want to see more of these videos, but you want to see the better versions of it, it's best to hit that subscribe button, guys. Okay. So with that being said, I'm going to address some things in this video that I already kind of knew was going to happen, and I was waiting for it to happen, and then some things that we're going to go back that I've already talked about. A lot of the things in here that would be Easter eggs are stuff that I've actually already covered in my last episodes, but of course no one saw them. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and just dive right into the parts I want to talk about and why I think this or that's going to happen, and so on and so forth. So, let's go on. Now, the first thing I want to do is I want to address the Bucky and Wakanda situation. Now, the reason I usually do it is I do it by timestamps, which of course I did make sure to record it. But if you remember, Bucky ended up in Wakanda to rehabilitate so he doesn't have the hypnosis. This is where, right after this part you're seeing right here in the episode is when Bucky starts becoming the White Wolf that he's known for within Wakanda. It's shortly after this that he starts becoming the Winter Soldier that we know now, okay? Or the Bucky that we know now. So with that being said, that's the reason why I want to make sure that we address the whole situation that they're going to come back to the White Wolf thing. I love that they're putting Wakanda in here, and I think this might also be their way to, because there was a speak of Shuri, but of course T'Challa wasn't talked about, and I think that's because I think what's going to happen is shortly after this, when all this comes through, that's when we're going to start later on having the death of T'Challa's character, of the Black Panther, and Shuri takes on the mantle. So that's what I think is happening here when it comes to that. Now, as far as we get through the episode, of course, they're all searching for the Flag Smashers, and we are aware that Carly is actually Carl in the comics and actually is just Flag Smasher. No other Flag Smashers get addressed, and this was said in my other videos as well. So we are continuing with that, but I feel like Carly's character is actually more of an emphasis on what's going to come when it comes to mutants and segregation and things of that nature, because people think she's helping, but she's actually hindering. And the thing is there had to be a catalyst for John Walker's story. And the reason I say that is because in the comic books, John Walker ends up becoming U.S. agent after he takes on the mantle of Captain America. But the thing is, and the Patriot as well, which of course Captain America just was called Captain at this time, which is kind of like the Captain you see in after Civil War, during Infinity War. That's the Captain you see that would actually be the time that Walker was Captain America. So it's a little bit, it's all been rearranged, okay? So with that being said, I was waiting for a moment for Walker to snap. The death of Battlestar, which I wasn't expecting, but it is a good catalyst for him to snap, which means either one of two things. He's going to take the serum, but I'm hoping maybe, or I'm thinking maybe, that what's going to happen is he's going to go take the serum, but what's going to end up happening is someone's going to get the serum like Zemo to make his own super soldiers, because they want to intentionally make Walker, like, unhinged and then give him the serum. That means that, of course, Bucky would have to be the one to deal with him in that situation. So, so basically, that's the reason why I said when you come down here to Battlestar's death, it definitely was a catalyst for him to snap, and for him to go off the handle and actually kill Carly's assistant or friend. So the thing I'm glad that did happen is they did the whole camera thing where everyone saw it. And honestly, it is a dark moment when you see the bloody shield and things of that nature. Um, again, this is one of those things where I feel like it's a towering. They're using I just made a brain fart and I've just been talking about the whole time. Um, they're talking when they were talking about the Flag Smashers. The Flag Smashers I feel like are another version of mutants, so to say. So the first and foremost, we have Zemo gone now, which, by the way, I don't understand why that's not addressed. That's what's confusing me right now. Zemo escaped during the whole thing with the ladies from Wakanda, and then all of a sudden he's gone. They don't even say anything. And that's where I'm confused. Why is Baron Zemo not becoming a problem anymore? He's gone. He's gone, and now we're focused on the John Walker origin of his snapping. Understand, in the comic book, John Walker snaps a lot, and that's the reason why people don't feel he could ever be what the real Captain America. I'm having brain farts today. How am I not remember Captain America's name? But anyway, my point to the whole thing is I wasn't expecting the Battlestar death, and the whole world is watching. Definitely emphasizes on the brutal killing that you see John Walker as Captain America do. Steve Rogers, there's the name popped in my head right there. Steve Rogers would not do that, and of course, we have the same thing with Falcon as well. It would not happen with him with Sam. So, expect a lot more of the snapping when it comes to John Walker in the next episodes. And as far as the Baron Zemo connection, I don't know when they're gonna emphasize, hey, we lost him, and not made a big deal about it, and why they didn't focus on it. I know they're focused on the Flag Smashers, but it's not really anything that's emphasized. Now, here's the thing: the Super Serum, the Super Soldier Serum, also has been used for other characters too. So that's why I feel like the whole John Walker thing may not happen. I don't know. That's something. Because again, that's going to change a lot of the things that happen in the comic books. Which, when it comes to these, these series, and even just MCU in general, they tend to change a lot of things. So we are going to address that. Now, I do want to talk about how they focus on this to show him that, okay, he's going to take the serum because of Battlestar, and so what they're going to do is he's going to say that he has the same goals as Steve Rogers, when, of course, you can clearly see he is nothing like Steve Rogers. But I think this also could be a catalyst of the U.S. agent going forward, or even, because the thing is, I feel like the U.S. agent, the Captain America U.S. agent switch over to is only going to happen during this series, and then it's going to be gone. So I don't know because none of them have died in the comic book, so I don't know where they're going with this when it comes to the show. And of course, when it comes to anything minute as far as Easter eggs, there was nothing really implanted in this one that I saw. If you guys saw something that may be a reference to something that I didn't see, definitely tell me. Heck, even Baron Zemo didn't even wear his mask through this episode. Now, the treats that he doles out, that could be something I may have missed that I'm in the comic books, but I didn't do in research. That's also failed attempt trying to make sure I get this review out in time. So, with that being said, I enjoyed the episode without a doubt. As far as what's Easter eggs, I really can't say that I saw anything that would remotely be close to the comic book outside of John Walker snapping. I will say that with Carly taking it close, the situation with Sam and his sister, that's kind of drawing the line. But I like what they did, because there's so much, and it's definitely giving Sam the upper hand to be the good guy in all this, of course, as well as the Winter Soldier. So my whole point is, I feel like the serum is not going to be taken by Walker, or he's going to, and somebody, either Flag Smasher, Baron Zemo, associated with any of those, is going to get their hands on it from him. Because if he takes it, it might be the last of the serum they have. Honestly, I don't know. It's kind of up in the air. You tell me what you think in the comments below. It was an absolutely great episode. If you are new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Again, the reason I'm stating this is because Every time I post these reviews, they don't get as much views as the other ones did, but I think it's because I posted them early. So I'm going to get this out as fast as I can so you can watch it. But anyway, as always, I am Party Man with Gamer Potheads. I will see you next week on the 5th episode. And, do not forget, we're all about that score. Peace out. I'll talk to y'all later.